History is a tapestry woven from countless threads, each decision, each battle, each moment of triumph or tragedy shaping the patterns that follow. But what if just one of those threads had been pulled in a different direction? What if a pivotal moment, etched into our collective memory as a heroic last stand, had instead been a resounding victory? Today we embark on a journey into the realm of alternative history, a thought experiment designed to challenge our understanding of the past and its profound influence on the present. We are Alternatify, and our question for you is both simple and staggering. What if the Spartans won Thermopylae? Imagine a world where the Persian advance, seemingly unstoppable, was decisively halted at the hot gates. This single monumental shift could have sent ripples across the ancient world, creating a cascade of unforeseen consequences. We will explore the human cost, the cultural shifts, and the long-term effects on art, philosophy, politics, and even technology. This isn't just about a different battle outcome. It's about a fundamentally altered timeline. We will delve into both the potential benefits and the profound drawbacks of such a Spartan triumph, dissecting how this one change might have reshaped the very foundations of Western civilization. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about the course of history. The year is 480 BC. The mighty Persian Empire, under the ambitious Xerxes, casts a colossal shadow over the Greek city-states. Their invasion force, a vast army and navy, was poised to subjugate the Hellenic world. Thermopylae, a narrow coastal pass, became the choke point, the strategic bottleneck where a small Greek force led by 300 Spartans chose to make their stand. The traditional narrative is one of unparalleled heroism and ultimate sacrifice. Leonidas and his Spartans, along with their Greek allies, fought to the last man, betrayed by Ephialtes, who revealed a hidden mountain path. Their defeat, though glorious, allowed the Persian juggernaut to continue its march into central Greece. But what if that betrayal never happened? Consider a scenario where the traitor Ephialtes was neutralized, perhaps by a sudden rock slide, an unexpected ambush, or even a last-minute change of heart. Or perhaps the Spartans, renowned for their tactical brilliance, employed a feigned retreat, luring the immortals into a deadly trap within the narrow pass. Another possibility involves a critical tactical error by the Persians, or even the incapacitation of Xerxes himself, throwing their command structure into disarray. Any of these divergences could have prevented the flanking maneuver that sealed the Greeks' fate. It's crucial to understand that a Spartan victory at Thermopylae would not have meant the total annihilation of the Persian army. Instead, it would have been a devastating strategic setback, a psychological blow that could have fundamentally altered the war's momentum. A decisive Greek victory at Thermopylae would have sent shockwaves through both the Hellenic and Persian worlds. The immediate impact on Greek morale would have been immense, transforming a heroic defeat into an inspiring triumph. This galvanizing event would have united the often fractious Greek city-states with unprecedented fervor. The course of the Greco-Persian Wars would have been irrevocably altered. An emboldened Greek navy, riding the wave of this land victory, might have launched more aggressive and coordinated attacks on Persian supply lines. Their confidence would have been sky-high, their resolve hardened by the knowledge that the seemingly invincible Persians could be beaten. Alliance building among the Greek city-states would have become significantly easier, strengthening the Peloponnesian League and perhaps even drawing in hesitant neutral parties. The shared victory would have forged a stronger, more cohesive front against the invaders. Faced with such resolute and unified resistance, the Persian invasion might have been delayed, scaled back, or even abandoned entirely. The demoralization within the Persian ranks, coupled with the logistical nightmare of a prolonged campaign against a unified Greece, could have forced Xerxes to reconsider his objectives. In this altered timeline, the Battle of Salamis, the decisive naval engagement that crippled the Persian fleet, might have become far less critical, or perhaps even unnecessary. The war could have ended much sooner, with a clear Greek victory secured on land. The long-term consequences of a Thermopylae victory would have been profound, none more so than the emergence of Sparta as the undisputed dominant power in Greece. Their military prowess, already legendary, would have been cemented as the ultimate guarantor of Hellenic freedom. This newfound supremacy would have reshaped the very fabric of Greek society. However, this Spartan dominance would have come with significant drawbacks. Greek society would likely have become far more militaristic, with Spartan values of discipline, austerity, and martial excellence permeating other city-states. The emphasis on military training and collective obedience would have overshadowed other pursuits. Crucially, the democratic ideals championed by Athens, which flourished in our timeline, would likely have been suppressed. Spartan oligarchy and its rigid social structure would have been the prevailing model, stifling the intellectual and artistic development that defined the Athenian Golden Age. Philosophy, drama, and democratic governance might have struggled to take root or evolve in the same way. Furthermore, Sparta's inherent isolationist policies would have limited cultural exchange across Greece and with the wider world. The vibrant intellectual cross-pollination that fueled innovation in our history might have been severely curtailed, leading to a less diverse and perhaps less dynamic Hellenic culture. Yet, there could have been potential benefits to this Spartan hegemony. A strong military and a more centralized, albeit authoritarian, government could have brought greater stability and security to Greece. Internal conflicts, such as the Peloponnesian War, might have been averted or significantly reduced under Spartan oversight. Continued military innovation and advancements in warfare would have been a constant focus, potentially leading to new tactical doctrines and weaponry. This different kind of political unity, forged in the crucible of a decisive victory, might have allowed for more effective resistance against future external threats, creating a formidable and enduring Greek power bloc. The ripple effects of a Spartan-dominated Greece would have extended far beyond the Aegean, influencing the entire Mediterranean world and beyond. The balance of regional power would have been fundamentally altered. A weakened Persian Empire, reeling from a decisive defeat at Thermopylae and potentially a truncated war, might have faced internal instability or external challenges from other burgeoning powers. This could have led to the earlier rise of other regional players, such as Egypt or the Phoenicians, filling the power vacuum left by a diminished Persia. The nascent Roman Republic, still centuries away from its imperial zenith, would have faced a very different geopolitical landscape. A stronger, unified and militaristic Greece to its east could have presented a formidable challenge or a powerful ally, fundamentally altering Rome's expansionist trajectory. Patterns of trade and cultural exchange would also have been significantly altered. With a less intellectually vibrant but militarily dominant Greece, the flow of ideas, goods, and artistic styles would have taken different paths. The spread of Greek culture, known as Hellenization in our timeline, would still have occurred, but in a distinctly more militaristic and less intellectually diverse form. The emphasis would have been on martial prowess, discipline, and a more austere aesthetic, rather than the philosophical inquiry, democratic experimentation, and artistic innovation that characterized Athenian influence. This shift would have permeated architecture, literature, and even the very concept of citizenship. The world would have inherited a different kind of Greek legacy, one forged in the crucible of the agoge rather than the Athenian agora. When we consider the hypothetical victory at Thermopylae and its subsequent Spartan dominance, a complex picture emerges, filled with both potential advantages and significant drawbacks. On the one hand, a unified Greece under Spartan leadership could have brought unprecedented stability and security to the Hellenic world. The constant internecine conflicts that plagued our timeline might have been largely avoided. This environment would have fostered accelerated military innovation, pushing the boundaries of ancient warfare and potentially leading to a more formidable and enduring Greek presence on the world stage. The political unity achieved, even if through authoritarian means, could have allowed Greece to project power and influence far more effectively than its fragmented historical counterpart. This might have created a stronger, more resilient Greek civilization, capable of resisting future threats with greater cohesion. However, the disadvantages are equally compelling, if not more so. The suppression of democracy and individual freedoms, particularly the vibrant intellectual and political discourse of Athens, represents a profound loss. The world would have been deprived of the foundational ideas of democratic governance, critical philosophy, and the dramatic arts that emerged from that unique Athenian crucible. A militaristic society, focused almost exclusively on martial excellence, would have limited cultural exchange and intellectual development. Innovation in fields outside of warfare might have stagnated, leading to a less diverse and less adaptable civilization. The legacy of Greece in this alternate reality would be defined more by military conquest and rigid social order than by the enduring contributions of philosophy, art, and the very concept of self-governance. It's a trade-off between security and freedom, between unity and intellectual flourishing. The implications of a Spartan victory at Thermopylae extend far beyond the ancient world, potentially reshaping the very foundations of modern society. Our political systems, for instance, might have evolved along very different lines. Without the strong Athenian precedent for democracy, authoritarianism or various forms of oligarchy might have become the dominant political models, influencing governance for millennia. Cultural values, art and literature would undoubtedly reflect this shift. Imagine a world where the emphasis on individual expression and intellectual debate is replaced by a celebration of collective discipline and martial prowess. The great works of philosophy, the dramatic tragedies and comedies, and the architectural marvels that define our understanding of ancient Greece might never have come to be or would exist in vastly altered forms. Technological development, too, could have taken a different trajectory. While military technology might have accelerated, other fields, less directly tied to warfare, could have lagged. The scientific and engineering advancements that often arise from open inquiry and diverse intellectual pursuits might have been stifled. This could have led to a different global power balance, with international relations shaped by a legacy of militaristic states rather than those founded on democratic principles. Consider the profound contrast between the values enshrined in the epic poems of the Iliad and the Odyssey, which celebrate individual heroism, cunning, and the journey of self-discovery, versus the rigid, collective, and often brutal training of the Spartan agoge. This fundamental divergence in cultural ethos would have echoed through the ages, shaping everything from education to ethics. Our modern world, with its emphasis on individual rights and democratic ideals, might be unrecognizable. Beyond the grand geopolitical shifts and cultural transformations, it is crucial to remember the profound human cost of such a divergent history. A prolonged conflict, even one that ends in a decisive Greek victory, would have exacted a terrible toll. Countless casualties, both Spartan and Persian soldiers, would have fallen on battlefields across Greece. The scale of human suffering would have been immense. Civilians, too, would have endured unimaginable hardship. Disruption of daily life, destruction of homes and livelihoods, and widespread displacement would have been rampant. The trauma of war would have scarred generations, leaving an indelible mark on the collective psyche. Furthermore, the loss of individual freedoms under a militaristic, Spartan-dominated society would have been a constant burden. Citizens would have been subsumed into the collective, their lives dictated by the needs of the state, with little room for personal ambition or intellectual exploration. This suppression of individual liberty, while perhaps leading to greater collective security, would have come at a steep price for the human spirit. And then, there are the truly unpredictable, unseen consequences. History is a complex web of interconnected events, and altering one thread can unravel countless others in unforeseen ways. Different patterns of trade could lead to different economic crises. Altered population movements could result in different plagues emerging or spreading. Even seemingly minor changes in cultural exchange could trigger entirely new technological breakthroughs or stifle existing ones. The butterfly effect in the grand tapestry of history is a force of immense and often unknowable power. The thought experiment of a Spartan victory at Thermopylae reveals the incredible complexity and multifaceted nature of alternative history. It forces us to confront the delicate balance of forces that shaped our world and to appreciate the profound impact of seemingly small divergences. This single hypothetical event could have fundamentally reshaped the political, cultural, and intellectual landscape of Western civilization. So we turn to you, our engaged audience. After considering the potential stability and military might, versus the suppression of democracy and intellectual flourishing, do you believe a Spartan victory at Thermopylae would have been a net positive or a net negative for humanity? Share your thoughts and arguments in the comments below. If this journey through an alternate past has sparked your imagination, please like this video, share it with fellow history enthusiasts, and subscribe to Alternatify for more thought-provoking explorations of what might have been. We are always seeking new horizons for our historical inquiries. What other pivotal moments in history would you like us to reimagine? Let us know your ideas for future alternative history scenarios. Remember, history is not a static collection of facts, but a dynamic, ever-evolving story. By exploring its countless what-ifs, we gain a deeper appreciation for the path we actually took, and the infinite possibilities that lay just beyond the veil of what was. Thank you for joining us on this speculative journey.